Hello, welcome back to JandJPickEm. My name is Juan. Last week I went 7-7, and my overall record is 85-65.
And I'm Josh. Last week I went 6-8. My overall record is 93-57. We didn't get double-digit wins last week, but I 100% guarantee you that I'm gonna get double digits this next week. I don't have 2 bad weeks in a row, and I 100% guarantee I'm so confident. If I don't get double-digit wins this next week, once again, like the other time I did it, $20 to any lucky follower on Instagram. Make sure to follow our Instagram too. And I'm very excited for this week. We got a lot of good matchups, and let's get to these Week 11 picks. For Thursday Night Football, we got an amazing divisional matchup. We got the Bengals versus the Ravens. This is going to be such an exciting game. The Bengals played pretty good even though they lost last week. Joe Burrow still threw for a lot of touchdowns. Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd did their thing. I think their defense just had to step up. You can't let C.J. Stroud get that many yards and just win the game against you. As for Ravens, same thing. They came up just short against the Browns, and it was because of Lamar Jackson's turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions, and in order to win a game, you got to eliminate your turnovers. So for this game, I do got the Ravens winning. I think their defense is a little bit better than the Bengals, and I think Lamar Jackson is going to play more conservative this game and run the ball more and not throw interceptions. So for that reason, I got the Ravens winning, and also the spread for this game is +4 and -4. So if I had to take one, I'd probably take the Ravens -4 this game, but I think it should be a close matchup.
For this game, I'm going to go with the Bengals. I know they did lose last week to a really good quarterback, CJ Stroud, but it's because they were playing against a really good quarterback. CJ Stroud, he's having an amazing season, and they outperformed the Bengals. But for this game, I'm expecting Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd to ball out. T. Higgins, I don't think he's going to play. But yeah, for this game, I'm going to take the Bengals +4.
For the next game, we got my Raiders versus the Dolphins. I was actually at the game last week, so really quick, I'm going to insert this clip. Michael Mayer mossed the shit out of whoever this guy was, and the Raiders took the dub. I was pretty happy. But for this matchup, it's going to be a little bit harder. The Raiders, I feel like offensively, they could have done a little bit better. Aiden O'Connell did throw an interception, which wasn't great, but Josh Jacobs is finally doing good in the run game, and our defense is playing a little bit better. But we all know the Dolphins are one of the best teams in the NFL, so I think the Dolphins are going to win this game, but I think it should be a close one. So for that reason, I'm going to take the Dolphins winning, but I will take the Raiders with the points. I think the Raiders are +12 or +12.5. So I'm going to take the Raiders with the points this game, but I think the Dolphins are the better team, so I'll take them to win this game.
Yeah, for this game, I'm going to go with the Dolphins as well. I feel like the Raiders, they have a good defense, but Max Crosby last week, he didn't step up. And this week, I don't expect him to do too good. For the Dolphins, I'm expecting Raheem Mostert to ball out. I feel like the Raiders, they don't really have a great run game defense, and I'm expecting Raheem Mostert to have a field day. So for this game, I'm going to go with the Dolphins -12. If the Raiders want to win, I feel like O'Connell, he needs to get the ball to Adams, and maybe that'll help them keep the game close. For the next game, we have the Titans versus the Jaguars. For this game, I'm going to go with the Jaguars -6.5. Last week, I know the Jaguars did get smacked by the 49ers, but the only reason this happened was because the Niners, they needed a win, and they let it all out on the Jaguars. But Trevor Lawrence, I expect him to bounce back. For this game, he's going to be facing a weaker defense. The Titans, they have nothing close to the Niners defense. And for the Titans, Derrick Henry, he needs to step up. But for this game, I'm going to go with the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, Juan. I'm also going to go with the Jaguars here. I think, like you said, last week, they just had an unlucky week because they played a really great defense like the Niners. And I think they're going to do a lot better this week. As for the Titans, I think offensively, they couldn't get anything going. Will Levis has to throw at least 1 touchdown. And Derrick Henry only had 24 rushing yards. So I think the Jaguars are going to win this one easily. I think it will be a good divisional matchup, though. I got the Jaguars winning, and I got them -6.5. I think they could cover the spread.
For the next game, we have the Cardinals versus the Texans. For this game, I'm going to go with the Texans. CJ Stroud, he's been balling out. Last week, he threw for 356 yards. He balled out last week, and he was able to beat the Bengals. He's been proving all year that he's able to win against really good teams. And their defense, they balled out last week. They got 2 interceptions, 4 sacks. For the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, he's back. He played really good. He was able to get the win. But I feel like their offense isn't that good. McBride, he balled out for the Cardinals. But for this one, I'm going to go Texans -4.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. I think the Texans are going to win this game. You know, CJ Stroud has been proving that he can win Rookie of the Year. He's been playing really amazing. That dub against the Bengals was a really great win. And as for the Cardinals, I think they're a more exciting team now that Kyler Murray's back. I think he was able to do a lot of great things last week, and that's why they won against the Falcons. And their defense was able to get a few stops. So I think there's going to be a really good game against 2 really good quarterbacks that are young and up and coming. Kyler Murray's already established, but he's a really good young quarterback. I got the Texans winning, and honestly, I can see them winning by a lot. So I'm also going to go with the Texans and Texans -4. For the next game, we got the Giants versus the Commanders. I don't even think I could say anything about the Giants right now. They took an embarrassing loss to the Cowboys last week. They got sacked a lot of times, got a lot of turnovers, and outside of Barkley, they got nothing going for the team. Hopefully the Giants, if you're a fan of them, you guys can get a top 5 pick in the draft, but who knows. As for the Commanders, they barely lost to the Seahawks. I think they played pretty great last week. Sam Howell is looking like a really good quarterback in the league. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's leading the league in passing yards right now. And as for the running game, Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson are looking like a really great duo. So I think it's a really easy matchup. I got the Commanders winning, and I think they're going to cover the spread of 9.5 also. I can see them winning by 15 or more points this game, so I got the Commanders winning.
So for this game, I'm going to go with the Commanders. Honestly, I don't think there's anyone betting on the Giants. They're the worst team in the NFL right now. For the Commanders, Brian Robinson, he's been balling out. Sam Howell, like Josh said, he's leading in passing yards. He's been balling out all season, and I expect them to get the win against the Giants. But yeah, for this game, I feel like this is an easy pick. The Commanders should come out with the win. So for this game, I'm going to take the Commanders minus 9.5. For the next game, we have the Steelers versus the Browns. For this game, I'm going with the Browns because I feel like they have more of a complete team. Both teams have really great defenses, but for the offense, I feel like the Browns are more complete. They have a passing game and a run game. And for the Steelers, they only have the run game. Pickett, he hasn't been doing too good passing all year. And for this one, I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson and the Browns minus 4.
I'm going to have to agree with Juan. I think the Browns are going to take this game, but I think it's going to be a very close game. So let me just say the outcome right now. I think Steelers are going to take the spread +4, but I think the Browns are going to win this game. I think these two teams are like exactly the same. Have a great defense. Quarterback isn't amazing, but their run game is doing really great. The Steelers, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren are looking like one of the best duos in the NFL right now. They both had a touchdown, over 50 yards each. And as for the Browns, Jerome Ford is doing really good and Kareem Hunt is doing really good in the run game and receiving game. But I think the Browns are going to win just because it's at their home. Their defense has been playing a little bit better. Last week, they stopped Lamar Jackson, which is pretty impressive. So I think they could stop an easier quarterback in Kenny Pickett. So I got the Browns winning, but I say the Steelers will cover the spread of +4.
For the next game, we have the Bears versus the Lions. For this game, I'm going to go with the Lions. They have an explosive offense this year. And, they've been doing really good. They're leading their division. And yeah, for this game, I'm expecting them to ball out. I'm going with the Lions minus 9.5. I feel like they're not going to be able to stop Montgomery or St. Brown. Jared Goff, he's been balling out all year. Tyson Bagent, he has no receivers. And I don't expect them to do much this game.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. I got the Lions this game. The Lions last week played amazing against the Chargers. The only thing I'll say is their downfall is their defense. I think their defense could play a little bit better. They did get 1 interception, but offensively, man, Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery balled out in the running game. David Montgomery came back, and he came back just where he left off. He had over 100 yards and a touchdown. That long rush that he had was pretty amazing. Amon-Ra St. Brown did good, and Jared Goff is all reliable. No interceptions, looking really great. As for Bears, they did come out with the W against the Panthers last time they played. They are coming off a bye week, so I do expect them to look a little bit better. So I'm going to take the Lions winning this game, but I'm going to take the Bears with the points. The only reason I'm saying that is because I think the Lions defensively haven't been playing that great, and the Bears are coming off a bye. So I will take the Bears with the points, but I got the Lions winning this game because they're the way better team.
For the next game, we have the Chargers playing at home against my Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. For this game, this is my upset of the week. I'm going to go with the Packers. I feel like last week we got screwed over by the refs. That should have been a fumble and a touchdown. We should have won last week. But the refs, all year they haven't been doing too good. But for this game, I'm going to go with the Packers +3. I feel like this is going to be another home game where the Packers, they play really great. Jordan Love, he's finally getting control of that deep ball. He's getting those completions on those deep passes. And for the Packers defense, Valentine, he's been stepping up. He might be covering Keenan Allen for this game, and I'm expecting him to ball out. Valentine, I'm talking about him right now. You're going to hear about him all game, and I expect the Packers to get the win.
Yeah, so Juan said the Packers got screwed over by the refs. I think they got screwed over by Jordan Love's 2 interceptions, bro. So I think the Packers got to play better. They didn't get no turnovers against the Steelers. As for the run game, Aaron Jones should have been leading the game in rushing yards. And I think they don't have a consistent receiver. I know it sounds like I'm talking shit about the Packers right now, but I just think against the Chargers, it's not going to be a close one. I think the Chargers are the way better team in my opinion. But the Chargers defense, they got to step up. Last week, they got no turnovers. They didn't do good at all on the defense. So I could see the Packers putting up a good fight because the Chargers defense isn't doing well. But Keenan Allen, man, this guy's a beast. Him and Austin Eckler honestly look like the only 2 people that were doing good on the Chargers. I do got the Chargers winning this game, but I will say I'll take the Packers +3. I think it should be a close one just because the Chargers defense isn't that great, but I think the Chargers are going to win this one. For this next game, we got the Panthers versus the Cowboys. Cowboys looked amazing against the Giants, and it could be just because the Giants suck, but I still got to give the props where the props are due. CeeDee Lamb, crazy game. He has 3 games in a row with 150 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Cooks did well. I think the Cowboys are a really good overall team. Their defense balled out too. And as for the Panthers, embarrassing loss by the Bears. It looked like no one was receiving the ball. Bryce Young doesn't look good at all, and the rush game wasn't there. I think the Panthers are one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. It can't go any worse than this, except when you're playing the Cowboys, man. Their defense is amazing, but I will say this. I'm going to take the Cowboys winning, but for some reason, I'm going to take the Panthers with the points, 10.5. I think the Panthers could keep it close. The Cowboys are the way better team, but for some reason, I see the Panthers having a good week this week, but the Cowboys will win the game.
For this game, I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I feel like there's not much to say. The Panthers, they're trash. They can't seem to get anything going. And the Cowboys, they've been doing really good. Their offense and their defense, they've been able to step up. They smacked the Giants last week, which is a very bad team like the Panthers. And I'm expecting a very similar game. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the Cowboys, minus 10.5. And I feel like this should be an easy game for the Cowboys to get the win. For the next game, we have the Buccaneers versus the 49ers. For this game, I'm going to go with the 49ers. Their offense and their defense is solid. And yeah, I feel like they're back. They should be able to get the win against the Buccaneers. But for the spread, I'm going to take the Buccaneers plus 11.5. I feel like Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, they're always a great duo. And I feel like they should be able to keep this game close.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Niners this game. I think the Niners played amazing last week. Their defense got 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and offensively, George Kittle looked great, and Brock Purdy threw for 3 touchdowns. As for the Buccaneers, they also came out with the W. Mike Evans looked amazing, and their defense looked really, really great. But I will say this, the Niners are the way better team, so obviously they're going to win this game. And, I got the Niners covering the spread. I think they're going to cover the minus 11.5. I think the Niners are finally showing why they're a top 3 team in the NFL, and their defense is going to ball out once again, and they're going to stop Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans. For the next game, we got the Jets at the Bills. This is a good divisional matchup, but I can't take all this disrespect on the Bills. People are saying Josh Allen isn't a great quarterback just because he had a few turnovers and he threw interceptions. I think he's still a great quarterback. He just hasn't had a lot of great games recently. I think Stephon Diggs is still that guy, and they have a good running game. Their defense didn't play great last week, but against the Jets and Zach Wilson, I think they're going to play amazing. As for the Jets, they lost to the Raiders last week. Zach Wilson didn't do good. He threw an interception in the clutch, and I think he's going to do the same thing with the Bills. I think the Bills defense will step up. They're going to give a lot of pressure to Zach Wilson, and I think Zach Wilson has to make better decision making. Breece Hall didn't get a lot of yards last week. I think he actually got injured too in the game, and Zach Wilson just has to protect the ball a lot better. I got the Bills winning, and I think the Bills are easily going to cover the spread of minus 7. I think they're the way better team, and they're going to show why they run New York.
All right, so for this game, I'm going to go with the Bills. Like you said, Josh Allen, everyone's been disrespecting him lately. And I feel like this is a game where he's able to bounce back and actually get a win. Zach Wilson, he didn't play too good last week against the Raiders. But for this game, I'm going to go with the Bills, minus 7. I feel like Stephon Diggs, he's going to bounce back this game as well. And they're going to be able to come out with the win.
So for this game, we got the Seahawks versus the Rams. This is going to be a good divisional matchup. Seahawks played pretty great last week. I think their defense just had to step up. They had no interceptions, and Sam Howell threw 3 touchdowns on them. But Kenneth Walker looked great in the receiving game, and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are looking like a great duo. As for the Rams, they're coming off their bye week, so Matthew Stafford's going to play now. He's expected to start. And Cooper Kupp and Puka, like we always said, great duo. So I think this would be a really good divisional matchup. It's obviously going to be super close since the spread is only 1. I think I'm going to take the Rams winning this game, so obviously I'm going to take their +1 also. I think it should be a close one, but I got the Rams winning this divisional matchup.
Yeah, for this game, I'm going to go with the Rams as well. I feel like the Seahawks have been very inconsistent all year. And for the Rams, they're coming off the bye week. Matthew Stafford, he's coming back from his injury. And I'm expecting him to ball out. Cooper Kupp, Nakua, I feel like they're going to be targeted all game. And I'm expecting them to put up a couple touchdowns. For the Seahawks, they did play good last week. But for this week, it's a divisional matchup. I feel like it should be more of a challenge. And I'm going to go with the Rams +1. I feel like this should be a very close game. And Matthew Stafford should be able to come out with the win.
For Sunday Night Football, I think this should be a great matchup. We got the Vikings versus Broncos. Joshua Dobbs has stepped in that role and has replaced Kirk Cousins. He's been playing really great. I like what he's doing in the offense. He's getting TJ Hawkinson the ball. TJ Hawkinson had 11 receptions and over 100 yards and a touchdown. But I think the running game has to get way better. Joshua Dobbs was the second best in rushing, and their leading rusher is Ty Chandler. I think I'll do a lot better and get Alexander Madison involved. As for the Broncos they upsetted the Bills and they played amazing. Russell Wilson did get sacked 4 times, but they played pretty great. And I'm going to go with the Vikings this game. I think the Vikings offensively are a little bit better. And, I'm riding the Joshua Dobbs hype right now. I think he's doing pretty good. And I think he's going to come out with another win for the Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings, and I'm also going to take them +2.
For this game, I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think Justin Jefferson might be back. And for that reason, I feel like they're going to be able to get the win. Joshua Dobbs, like Josh said, he's been balling out all year. That was one of the best trades of the season. And the Broncos, they got saved last week with that 12th man. If it wasn't for that, they would have took the L. But TJ Hawkinson, he's been balling out. If you have him on fantasy football, make sure to start him. The Vikings, I think they were able to get 2 interceptions last week. And for this game, I'm going to take the Vikings +2. I'm expecting them to get the win. And Joshua Dobbs is going to get another win to his streak.
For Monday Night Football, we got the game of the week, Super Bowl rematch. We got the Eagles versus the Chiefs. I think the Eagles are coming for revenge. I got them winning. Jalen Hurts has been playing amazing. The run game with DeAndre Swift has been amazing. And I think A.J. Brown has been proving that he's a top 3 receiver in the league. As for the Chiefs, I heard Taylor Swift is going to be at this game, so expect Travis Kelce to ball out. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, he's doing really great this season, so I think he's also going to do his thing. It's going to be a really, really close matchup. The Chiefs are favored by -2.5, but I do got the Eagles winning this one, so I'm going to take the Eagles, and I'm going to take the points. The reason for this is I think the Eagles have a way better defense. Jalen Carter and Hassan Reddick have been balling out this season, and I think they're going to be the reason why they're going to stop Patrick Mahomes and the offense. And the run game has been a lot better. I don't know if the Chiefs' run defense is good enough to stop the Eagles, so I do got the Eagles winning, and I do have them covering the spread also.
All right, so for this game, I'm going to go with the Chiefs just because Patrick Mahomes, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. He's proven that he's able to win big games, and like you said, Taylor Swift is going to be at the game. Taylor Swift, automatic win right there. So yeah, I'm going with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. I know the Eagles have a really good team right now, but Patrick Mahomes, he never lets you down in big games like this. And he's going to prove why he should be MVP for this season. And yeah, for this game, I got the Chiefs winning. Patrick Mahomes, expect them to ball out. This is going to be a very good matchup. And I'm going to take the Chiefs -2.5.
So for this next segment, we got the parlay of the week again. Last week, my parlay, I just missed about one team. The Saints did lose to the Vikings, but the Raiders did win, and the Niners did win also. I just missed it by the Saints. So for this week, I'm pretty confident on the Chargers winning. That's going to be one of my teams. I got the Lions winning, and I got the Bills winning. I think these 3 teams, I'm pretty confident in them winning, and I think you should follow that parlay. I'll say I have a 90% chance that I think they're going to win.
Okay, so for my parlay last week, out of 3 games, I only got 1 right. But for this week, I'm expecting to get all 3 right. So for my parlay this week, it's going to be Texans, Dolphins, and Browns. I'm expecting all 3 teams to get the win. So if you want to win some money, make sure to put money in those parlays, and you should be able to cash out. So these are going to be our Week 11 picks. Thank you for tuning in for another week of football.
Yeah, we feel pretty confident about our picks. I think we're going to have a great week of football. And remember, follow our Instagram, and I'm going to get double-digit wins this week. If I don't get double-digit wins, I'm going to give one of you lucky followers $20 on our Instagram story. And I'm really excited for this week. I'm Josh.
I'm Juan.
And this was JandJPickEm.